So Deontay Wilder fired his manager, trainer, and that's crazy. Floyd Mayweather is his new trainer.
That's not gonna happen.
I just have to kill that conversation.
I thought Floyd did say he was gonna help him.
Too many egos in one room, man. Yeah. Too many egos in one room.
Yeah.
And being honest with you, because I saw that Mayweather said that he could make Deontay Wilder a champion. I don't. No disrespect, but you dealing with a heavyweight fighter that has been the same type of fighter as long as he's been fighting, and really only knows one thing, which is laying the right hand. He doesn't know how to set up the right hand, and he doesn't know how to do anything other than knock out.
I think right after that fight, we had this conversation like, should he get a new trainer? And we just all felt like he is who he is.
Well, and a lot of it, like Shawn mentioned with Floyd, is they always say the best at any sport, whether it's boxing, football, basketball, anything, they have a tough time teaching somebody because everything is natural to them. And he kind of mentioned that in that interview. Like, you can tell somebody, oh, just do this, this, and this. Yeah. And to you, it just sounds like ABC. And to them, it's like, you're like, wait a second, I'm not following that at all.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm with that too. I think that I'll go back to what I said to start. I think it's too many egos in one room. I don't know if Mayweather knows how to run a camp. Yeah, obviously he runs his camp. Sure, but how does he know how to run a camp as a trainer? Know what to do, when to do it. Outside of that, are those going to be things that Deontay Wilder is willing to go with and accept? For sure. And I think there's a long way from the lip to the cup in that instance right there. The fact that he got rid of Mark Breland. Yeah. When it happened the first time, when we were all hearing that he had fired Mark Breland, let him go, whatever the case may be, I was really against it because I felt like at that point in time, and Mark Breland in your corner, you don't have anyone else like Mark Breland. Mark Breland's been in there, he's felt it, he's seen it, and he knew exactly what he was looking at on the outside of the ring when he threw in the towel. Yeah. In a lot of ways, for the sake of words, we say he saved your life, he saved your career. It may sound extreme to some people, but I really do, and personally in that case, in that situation, feel like he did save his life and his career.
A lot more damage.
Could have took a lot more damage.
And I think everybody else in his corner was willing to let him take that damage.
My hope is that because we don't have, Deontay hasn't said directly, nobody's said directly, we let him go because he threw in the towel. Right. My hope is that it was just, there was some issue with strategy or his responsibility, something like that. I hope it wasn't like, hey, man, you threw in the towel when I was clearly losing and taking punishment. You're out of here. Yeah.
And I read from Shelly Finkel, Deontay Wilder's manager, that we don't know how long it's been that this, I guess, decision was accumulating, was forming, was talked about.
And he represented Mark Breland,
which is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. My hope is that because I don't want to speak for either of you.
But again, I gotta
we all
cut
agree
you off
about
right
the towel
there.
thrown in, though.
I got to cut you off right there because you have and Mark Breland being managed by Shelly Finkel through his career. Mm-hmm. Now, when you get the job to work with Deontay Wilder, is it because of a connection or is it because Deontay really felt like you would be an asset to his team? Is it because
could be both?
You know, is it because? Well, I have to wonder.
I think he was suggested.
Yeah, I wonder if it's one of those situations where because of that connection, that gets the name in front of you, so you can say, "Oh, I know Ant. Maybe he could work for you." And then you look at his resume. Oh, okay, he was a heavyweight. He kind of knows how this goes. So
bring him aboard.
Yeah, it could be both.
And Mark Breland wasn't there at the beginning, so when Mark Breland comes on, all of the talks are Mark Breland's going to show him how to use his jab. Mark Breland's going to show him how to set up his power, which I think, I mean, obviously I said it earlier, but I think that's kind of the only thing you talk about when it pertains to Deontay Wilder is what is it outside of the right hand. But I don't think that the things Mark Breland showed Deontay Wilder had an everlasting effect on him. Enough to eat through you're knocking guys out, but what if you don't get the knockout? Yeah. You know, and you've seen me time and time again, and you've seen me too, but I think you a little bit more understand what I go through in camp because you've been there, like really been there, and you've seen and heard. My dad, all he talks about is, okay, well, what if that's not working? What are you going to do then? And I think that that's something that's kind of embedded in me. And when we we'll go back to the coaches.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm always looking for in a coach, and we'll just speak on them really quickly. Charlo's coach, Derek James. My whole thing was, okay, when the power right hand isn't working, what are you gonna do? And much respect to Derek James after doing some homework, because I see a lot more in Derek James. Again, having not worked with Derek James, that's kind of where my first initial, I don't know if he's, the next guy, but after going back and doing my homework, I'm like, okay, this dude is an asset to any fighter, not just the fighters that are champions, and not just because they are doing it themselves and he's just right there holding on. He's not holding on, and in fact, there are times where he's actually pushing the cart.
He's not just a neutral or a negative. He is a big positive.
Yeah,
and I felt like with Wilder, I thought he showed me something in the Stavern fight. I'm like, okay, he can box. Mm-hmm. But then when it came down to everything between the Tyson and Stavern, it was just knockout power.
Did you
clean?
To go back to what I said, I don't think either of you had an issue with the towel being thrown at that time.
Oh
no, I didn't either. I don't think.
I thought it should have stopped earlier.
I think the only people that did are maybe not that in tune with boxing, or maybe a little naive in what they thought Deontay was somehow gonna just come back from just getting
people
dismantled.
Just really committed when they love Deontay so much. They really feel like all he needed was one,
and we all
needed was one.
And I think we all love Deontay.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
And so I think in boxing in general, without going deep into that, it's difficult for people to separate having an opinion and a personal opinion.
Yeah.
Like I can think one thing and then not have an issue with them as a person. Like we've criticized you about your Kell Brook performance. Doesn't mean I dislike you.
Right.
Just being fair and honest.
Right.
Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Porter Way Podcast.